Executive Privilege broke beautifully, but then so did Beholder, and Beholder's taken a nice strong hold down at the rail and kicks on to lead them. Here's Kawaii Katie on the outside. They're going to set a fast early pace out here. Now Executive Privilege decides to drop back into the third spot. Been followed by Renee's Queen in the fourth position. Spring in the air at the rails, a good 7 lengths off that leader. Racing in behind that comes Almost an Angel. Dreaming of Julia has her ears pinned on the far side. She's a good 7 lengths off these leaders, and Broken Spell is the trailer. They move on to the backstretch, and Beholder now set that quick early pace, and Beholder on a long rein now. They're going comfortably. Beholder in front by just over a length. Kawaii Katie's tracking from the second position, and here's Executive Privilege back third, making a little bit of headway on the leader, now 3 lengths off them. Now there's Dreaming of Julia moving up on the far side. In behind that comes Spring in the Air, Renee's Queen's alongside of that, Almost an Angel, and Broken Spell the last two. They got 8 to make up. They run past the 3/8 pole still. Garrett Gomez and Beholder out in front. And let's see, Beholder's starting to kick for home now, and Beholder's opened up 2 lengths on them. Kawaii Katie comes after them from second. Executive Privilege trying to find a place to run down at the rail. Dreaming of Julia is next. These 4 have kicked away. Heads a turn for home, and right now it's all Beholder. She hugs the rail and goes for home. Whip is coming out now though on Beholder. Put away, tries to hold on. Here's Executive Privilege. Beholder and Executive Privilege coming through the stretch together. Beholder and Garrett Gomez. Executive Privilege and Rafael Biarmo. They starting to shift ground. It's Beholder on the inside holding on. Beholder's going to go all the way. And Beholder and Garrett Gomez have won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile finish. And Julia in third. Feel for the Santa Anita Oaks sent on their way, and Beholder broke very fast. Beholder straight to the front. On the inside, Black Witch goes up second. 50 Shades of Hay sent along to go up and join them. I Tap is going to be caught wide into the first turn, been followed by Could Be Trouble, and Spellbound content to take back last as 8 off them. Past the 7/8 they go, and Beholder from that outside gate has dropped down onto the rail, just setting a sensible pace here, leads it by almost 2 now. Black Witch has come through at the rail. Up alongside is 50 Shades of Hay. I Tappers on the far side, only 3.5 off the leaders. A length and a half to Could Be Trouble, and then a big gap of 7 back to Spellbound. Down the backstretch they go, and Beholder got to be very happy with the situation here, not getting any pressure at all. Beholder just takes them along a comfortable pace. 50 Shades of Hay races on the far side with Black Witch down at the rail. I Tappers now drop back to be 6 off the leaders, then it's 4 more to Could Be Trouble, and another 6 to Spellbound. So they strung out over a lot of ground as they go into the turn in the Santa Anita Oaks, and Beholder still clear by 2 lengths and going very easy. In the second spot, 50 Shades of Hay. I Tapper now starts to make a run. Here's I Tapper in the green cap coming to take them on. Black Witch drops out. Spellbound winding up from last. They come to the top of the lane, and now Beholder is asked to go for home. Leads it by just under 2. 50 Shades of Hay. I Tapper's running a big one in the centre. Past the 8th pole they come, and Beholder's starting to open up again. And it is Beholder in front by 4 as they come to the 16th. I Tapper chasing from second. But Beholder just plain too good. Absolute class. Beholder and Garrett Gomez winning it easily in the Santa Anita Oaks. I Tapper was second. 50 Shades of Hay, Spellbound, Could Be Trouble, and Black Witch.
Is moving forward. They're in the gate. And they're off for the Longines Kentucky Oaks. And there was a skirmish towards the outside, and Dreaming of Julia was broadsided as they came out of the gate. Had her coming together with Pure Fun and also Princess of Silmar. Meanwhile, at the sharp end, it is Midnight Lucky who spearheads the field into the first turn. Beholder racing in second, and then towards the outside, Unlimited Budget is just in third. On the inside, Sil Sita racing in fourth. 2 lengths away. Sanine Girl is in 5th. On the outside, Rose to Gold in 6th. 22 and 4 for the opening quarter mile. Sees Close Hatches with Dreaming of Julia behind her. Then to the outside, Princess of Silmar. And a long last down the back stretch is Pure Fun. Racing towards the halfway point in the 139th running of the Longines Kentucky Oaks. And the half was in 46 and 3. And the leader at halfway is Midnight Lucky and Rafael Bejarano. But now they are beginning to close up. Beholder to the outside, half a length away. Racing in second, Unlimited Budget in third. Silsita is in fourth. Sanine Girl making a move. So too, long shot Princess of Silmar around the outside. Dreaming of Julia is now being ridden and asked for effort by John Velasquez, but is beginning to weave her way through. But she still has 5 lengths to find as they now turn for home in the Longines Kentucky Oaks. Beholder, the 2-year-old champion, takes the lead. Midnight Lucky towards the inside, now in second. Unlimited Budget is in third, trying to stay on, together with Princess of Silmar, and then Dreaming of Julia deep down the outside of the track. Down towards the final 16th they go. Beholder now being tackled by Princess of Silmar. Princess of Silmar for a shock at 36 to 1 in the Kentucky Oaks. Princess of Silmar and Mike Smith, a third win in the Kentucky Oaks for Todd Pletcher. A boil over as Princess of Silmar got up to deprive Beholder in the run to the line.
Broke beautifully, and Beholder goes straight to the lead. Include Me Out gets up second. Joyful Victory's taken back into third, going to be carried a little wide into the turn. Via Villagio, meanwhile, is right there at the rail. They really tightly packed. More Chocolate has floated 4 wide into the turn. Then comes Flashy American and Authenticity last, but no more than 5 lengths covers them all. They head to the 3/4 pole, and Beholder nice and relaxed out here. Gary Stevens just got on a long rein, lopes them along 3 parts of a length to Include Me Out. Joyful Victory's the grey on the far side. More Chocolate has to go wide as well. Authenticity now moving into contention down at the rail, and Authenticity comes through 4th, only 2 lengths off the leaders. Flashy American next, and the long shot Via Villagio's last. They run past a half-mile pole, and still Beholder not being bothered on the lead yet. On the far side is Joyful Victory. Between them, Include Me Out. Authenticity threatening to run a big one at the rail now, just needs somewhere to run. Then Flashy American, More Chocolate, and Via Villagio. They come into the 5/16, and Beholder has not been asked to run yet. Include Me Out putting the pressure on now. On the outside, Joyful Victory. Authenticity now looking for somewhere to go. They're at the top of the lane in the Zenyatta, and Beholder now. Gary Stevens, super confident, hasn't moved on her yet. Beholder the leader. Authenticity down the centre. Joyful Victory now been hard ridden. They come for home, and Beholder is clear by 4 lengths now. Authenticity's run a big one, but just a scintillating performance from Beholder. Gary Stevens barely moved on her. Couldn't have been more impressive. Authenticity was second. Joyful Victory finished third.
In 2 races today, one in New York where Princess of Silmar beat Royal Delta, and now here in California, the Grade 1 Zenyatta going to 3-year-old filly Beholder. The 3-year-old fillies have said they are best than their older female counterparts.
I hate to say it, but somehow this is kind of like the Torrey Pines all over again.
Yeah.
The race was over going into the first turn. When nobody pushed this horse, and you said it going into the first turn, when we...
Hirsch Cup Distaff, $2 million, over 1 1/8 with the call. Here's Larry Colmus.
Doesn't get any better than this, Tom. They're all in line, ready for the start. They're off, and the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and Mike Smith is sending Royal Delta out of there. Beholder is fast too, but so too are Close Hatches and Authenticity, and they're going to be involved in the pace. And now Stevens takes Beholder back off of it. He's going to sit 4th early. Street Girl is 5th, and Princess of Silmar's alongside of her as they race for the first turn here. And the leader is Authenticity. So John Velasquez gets her to the front here through the first 1/4 of a mile, which goes in 22 3/5 seconds. And Royal Delta's 3/4 of a length behind in second. Beholder is 3rd. Close Hatches is 4th, and she's down on the rail. 3 lengths ahead of Princess of Silmar, and Longshot Street Girl is last. And they go to the backstretch. Authenticity is the leader. And Royal Delta, the two-time winner, is alongside of her, and she's only a neck back with 5 furlongs to go. A 46.5 mile. A solid pace, but they're not flying on this track today. Beholder is third, just to the outside of Royal Delta. Now they're side by side, and Beholder sticks her head into second. Royal Delta is back running in third, and she's lost a little bit of ground to the leaders here, and she's about to be joined on the outside by Close Hatches, and suddenly Royal Delta's fourth on the inside. Princess of Silmar's got 5 lengths to make up, and Street Girl is the trailer. Around the far turn, and Beholder and Gary Stevens have taken the lead on the outside. Authenticity is second, Close Hatches third, and Royal Delta no better than fourth at this point, and they're into the stretch, and Beholder's in front. Close Hatches on the outside has taken second. Authenticity third. Royal Delta won't get there. Neither will Princess of Silmar. This is all Beholder. Beholder and the comeback kid, Gary Stevens, have won the Breeders' Cup Distaff with authority. Close Hatches was second. Authenticity was third. Royal Delta ended up fourth. Street Girl fifth. And Princess of Silmar did not fire today. She was last. Gary Stevens' first Breeders' Cup in 13 years.
Gary, I'm glad you left.
Gate closed, all set now for the Zenyatta. And away they go, and Aya Tapper missed the break. Aya Tapper was slow to get going. Tis Midnight, meanwhile, hopped away fast and goes straight to the lead. Tis Midnight been followed by Hilwer. Beholder is on the outside. Aya Tapper quickly making up that ground on the inside, has gone right up behind the leaders now. They weren't in a big hurry early, and Aya Tapper made up that ground relatively easily. And Wittgenstein trails. 4 lengths would cover them all. Past the 3/4 pole they go, and Tis Midnight and Victor Espinosa are at a sensible pace. He is pricked, lead them 3 parts of a length. Hilwer is right there second. Beholder is on the far side in third. Looks like gonna have to go 3 wide the whole way though. Beholder's now running up to make it 3 in a line as they pass the 5/8. Meanwhile, Aya Tapper is hugging the rail, only 2 lengths off these leaders, and the long shot Wittgenstein last, but only 5 lengths would cover the lot. They have a half mile to go in the Zenyatta, and it's Tis Midnight kicking on for home now as Hilwer runs up alongside. Beholder is on the far side. Only a length separates those 3. Aya Tapper just waits for room, and now it's 5 back to Wittgenstein. So they start to turn the pressure on in the Zenyatta now. It's Tis Midnight on the inside. Beholder now coming to take them on. Aya Tapper on the inside, and Hilwer. They're at the top of the lane, and Beholder now takes the advantage. And it's Beholder with the lead as they turn for home. Hilwer on the outside. Tis Midnight. Aya Tapper's had a tough time today, battling on gamely. Past the 8th pole they come, and Beholder still the leader. Beholder in front by just under 2. Tis Midnight tries to re-rally. Tis Midnight coming to stretch Beholder, but Beholder's class will carry her through. And Beholder and Mike Smith have won the Zenyatta 3 parts of a length to Tis Midnight. Aya Tapper had to settle for third. Then came Hilwer, and Wittgenstein was last. And away they go in the Clement L Hirsch. On the outside, My Monet sets off for the lead. My Sweet Addiction down at the rail. Hilwer's on the outside. Beholder's going to tuck in right behind the leaders in the orange cap in the 4th spot. Honey Ride is pretty keen to go on down at the rail. Only 4 lengths off these leaders. Hilwer's another one in there. Then we come back to Warren's Veneta, only 4 lengths off the leaders. The girl in that song, last of a compact field. Past the 3/4 pole they go, and My Sweet Addiction slows them down on the lead now, not in a big hurry. Beholder is on the far side. Honey Ride decides they're going too slow, and Honey Ride now picks up the pace, and Honey Ride kicks on to My Sweet Addiction. Beholder is right there in the 3rd spot. On the far side is My Monet. Hilwer has to go wide, but is only 2 lengths off the leader. Warren's Veneta in the white colours, the girl in that song behind that. and Legacy is last. No more than 5 lengths covers them all. Less than a half mile to go now, and Beholder is kicked early. Beholder goes for the lead. My Sweet Addiction, Honey Ride's dropped out. Yahilwa running a big one on the far side. My Monet is in there. 4 of them tightly grouped now. They are coming to the quarter pole. Beholder is in front. My Sweet Addiction down at the rail. Yahilwa is on the outside of that. My Monet in behind them. Warren's Veneta still far back. Homeward bound now, and suddenly Beholder is shot clear. And Beholder just getting the rein shaken at her now. Yahilwa is running a brave 1 second. But Beholder, once again, a scintillating performance today. Just never gave them a chance. Cantering home under Gary Stevens in the Clement L Hirsch. Beholder wins. Yahilwa second. Warren's Veneta third. Then My Sweet Addiction, Honey Ride, My Monet, Legacy, and the girl in that song. The last one goes straight in. Gates closed. They're all set. Field for the Pacific Classic sent on their way to a good beginning and to the roar of the Del Mar crowd. Bayern, as expected, straight to the front, and Bayern broke beautifully, nice and settled, goes off to lead them. Midnight Storm's out in the center of the track to keep him company. Gary Stevens getting the perfect spot on Beholder. He's tucked in third, about 5 off these leaders who are now quickening and going fast up front. Catcher Flight is fourth on the outside. Opportunity. Then we come back to Red Vine, a good 8 lengths off the lead, has been followed by Hard Aces, Imperative, Bailout, Bobby's back second last, and Class Leader Trail's got to be 25 off these leaders. They strung out over a lot of ground. They head to the 3/4 pole, and Rafael Bejarano tries to slow them down now on Bayern. He's taken a hold on him. Bayern traveling nicely. On the far side is Midnight Storm, a gap of 4 back to Beholder, and Beholder just cantering along in the 3rd spot on a long rein under Gary Stevens. She's going very nicely. Catcher Flight in 4th. Opportunity far side. Red Vine at the rail. They taking closer order as they slowed it down up front. Imperative in behind that. Down at the rail comes Hard Aces, now 8 lengths off them. 6 back to Bailout Bobby, and Class Leader is still last. Into the turn they go in the TVG Pacific Classic, and Bayern is still the leader. Here comes Beholder, and Beholder just breezing on by. Beholder strikes the front. Gary Stevens hasn't moved, and Beholder's opened up to lead by 5. Red Vine making a run. Opportunity on the outside. Bayern did not go on. Then it's Catcher Flight. They turn for home in the Pacific Classic, and it's Beholder. Gary Stevens just shakes the reins at her, and Beholder is opening up on them. Almost impossible to believe. She's turned this into an exercise gallop. Beholder is absolutely poetry in motion. Beholder and Gary Stevens didn't win it. They romped in the Pacific Classic. Catcher Flight second, then came Red Vine, Opportunity, Imperative behind that, then Hard Aces, Class Leader, Bailout Bobby, Bayern, and Midnight Storm was last. It's closed, they're all set. And away they go. Beholder got a good enough break from the outside, but is fanned wide in the early stages. My Sweet Addiction is right there, and Wild in the saddle in the white cap. Then My Monet, Kiriaki in the white cap, moving up a little closer. Beholder caught about 5 wide into the turn. Now probably going to have to drop in behind, although still wide as they pass the 7-8. Big Book behind that. Then comes Warren's Veneta. And last of all is Savings Account. 8 lengths covers them all. On to the backstretch they go, and Mike Smith has taken My Sweet Addiction along at a good pace, leads at a length and a half. Wild in the saddle is second. My Monet down at the rail. Beholder in the orange cap on the far side. Beholder now running up to take the 3rd spot, just 2 off the leaders. Kiriaki's right there, 5th. Then comes Warren's Veneta in the red blinkers, 4 lengths off the leaders. Behind that Big Book, and Savings Account trails 7, covers them all. Past the half mile they go, and Beholder's now turning the pressure on. Beholder on the far side. My Sweet Addiction at the rail. They stride for stride with 3/8 to go. Then My Monet. Kiriaki behind that. Wild in the saddle, losing ground. Warren's Veneta still far back. They are coming towards the quarter pole now, and Beholder now takes the lead. And Beholder goes on for home. My Sweet Addiction tries to hang tough. My Monet is back in third. At the top of the lane, and it's all Beholder. Gary Stevens has not asked her now. Takes a look over his shoulder at My Sweet Addiction. Now a look over his right shoulder, but Beholder once again is just making this look so easy. It is Beholder in an absolute canter, being geared down late by Gary Stevens. Beholder in a formality. My Sweet Addiction second. Then came Savings Account. Close Big Book and My Monet. Warren's Veneta behind them. Wild in the Saddle, and Kiriaki was last.
Chatterbox takes her spot in the starting gate, and here's Beholder in the final race of her career, going against Songbird and Stellar Wind, and they're all in line. Roar comes up here at Santa Anita, ready for the start. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and oh, Stellar Wind did not break at all. She had a very slow start as Mike Smith sends Songbird to the front. And Beholder is right there, and I'm a Chatterbox is going to put some pressure on now, too. And then it's Carolina Way running in fourth position. Landover Sea is next. Stellar Wind, who just did not come out of the gate well at all. It's about 6 lengths off the lead with the Argentinian Corona del Inca alongside of her. Forever Unbridled is last, and Songbird leads the way through a 23-1 opening quarter mile. A solid first fraction for her, but she's in the clear as they race onto the backstretch. I'm a Chatterbox is running along in second position onto the backstretch run. And then comes Carolina. Beholder on the outside is fourth. She's now 4 lengths off of Songbird up the backstretch. It's another 2.5 to Stellar Wind. And Victor Espinoza has her 6 lengths off the lead right now. Then Landover Sea, Forever Unbridled, and Corona del Inca. So it's a 47 flat half for Songbird. Very easy for her as she continues her journey into the far turn with a length lead. I'm a Chatterbox continues to pursue in second. Beholder has not moved yet. Gary Stevens has not asked her to go as of yet. Now he's starting to ask just a bit, and she's a length and a half off of Songbird, third in the far turn. Songbird is taken on now, and here comes Beholder, and a confrontation of champions as they come toward the top of the stretch. I'm a Chatterbox trying to cling to them. Stellar Wind's got work to do. Songbird and Beholder, and they're into the stretch, and here we go. Songbird set down. Beholder is alongside. Forever Unbridled is 2.5 lengths behind them.